Okay, the next question is, how often do I chase for client feedback? Now, this the way to answer this question is really to think about what happens prior to the situation that you find yourself in, which typically is the black hole, which is you have a good first early conversation, you submit information, you have your terms in place, and then this contact just disappears. And you're desperate to get feedback because you believe the candidate is right for that client. Now, this is about control, and this also comes back to intrigue, which we cover on a number of other questions. Your ability to gain feedback is simply because the CV is the excuse. Now, what I mean by that is, as soon as we submit a CV, it gives a client a choice to either review the CV, not look at it at all, or use it as a buffer to keep you at arm's length. I know that sounds very cynical, but that's who I am. So for me, you need to hold on to that information and control the earlier situation, which is, look, I've got a great guy. He's available to come in and see you on X day to X time. I'll definitely get the information across to you, but whilst we've got on the phone, I know I'm going to lose you after this phone call, and I know you're super busy. So what does your diary look like right now? If you can start establishing diary position much earlier in your process, you won't have to chase for feedback, because what you really want to try and achieve is the ability to pencil in someone for a coffee, which is an interview, let's be honest. Your job is to connect people. So if you can get a coffee booked in the diary and then send the CV after, there is no feedback to chase. The choice for your client is, if they don't like the look of the CV or they have any further questions, they have to come back to you or they have to cancel the coffee. Now, the chance of that is much slimmer than you actually getting hold of someone for feedback in the first place. So just think about re-engineering your basic process and start thinking about a slightly more bullish approach to get at least some time commitment out of them in that first or second phone call. Once you do that, it's easy to cancel something, but it's much harder to book something. So just think about that when you move forward and start looking at getting feedback in from clients, because they disappear and half our time is spent chasing shadows. If you could eradicate that, imagine how good you would be.